and welcome to the Beginner's Guide to Gamification, episode number 2! This is Chou, and I am here to talk to you about gamification. This episode, I will be talking about what exactly gamification is, because there's so many definitions out there, there's so much confusion out there, and I think it's good to explore exactly what it is and what it's not. As mentioned in the last episode, gamification is the craft of combining the fun elements of gaming into real-world productive activities. I think I want to go to the gym. I feel fat right now. Actually, I think I'm going to go play with ducks. Or I should go get some food. Yeah, that's a good idea. So as you learn more and more about gamification, you'll start to realize that, hey, wait a second. These things aren't new. You know, a lot of companies have been rewarding points to their customers for like decades. Also, if you consider things like narrative and all that stuff, that has been around for a very long time. So why call it gamification? All you can eat sushi buffet, amazing. In actuality, gamification is simply human-focused design, as opposed to function-focused design. So most systems out there are designed to focus on efficiently getting the function done, right? It assumes the people will do its work and things will get done. It's as quickly as possible, it's as functional as possible. Even usability makes it as easy as possible for the human inside. But what it really forgets is that the human inside of the system has feelings, they have motivations, they want to do something versus not want to do something. What's up, man? Are you interested in gamification? No? No, come on. It's really interesting. Don't go away. No, I promise you, it's super interesting. Hey, come on, dude. Come on. Whoa, your hairstyle is cool. How did you do that? How much did that cost you? And so, what human-focused design does is that it incorporates interesting things into the design that makes the human in the process more motivated, more interested, more excited to do things. And so that's why we call it human-focused design, or I call it that. Now, the gaming industry got this first right, because games, they have no other function. Their function is to please the human inside. All the other goals in a game, those are just pseudo goals. They don't do anything. They just are meant to make the human inside interested. So, because the gaming industry is the first industry that got it right, we now are learning from games and see how they did it and bring that into other productive activities. So that's why today we call it gamification. This place is amazing. All you can eat uni, sweet shrimp, sashimi white tuna, soft shell crab. Super amazing place. So on the one hand, we have purposeless gaming. Fun things that really don't accomplish anything productive in life. On the other side, we have boring work, things you must do, helps your life, but it's really boring. You don't want to do it. So gamification is the combination of these two very real but opposing forces in life. At this point, everything sounds pretty abstract. So let's look at some examples about how gamification applies to websites. Let's check out LinkedIn.com. LinkedIn wants to get people to fill out their profiles, but filling out your profile could be long and tedious. So what LinkedIn did was they added this little progress bar that tells you how complete of a human being you are. So as you can see right now, I am awesome. I have 100% profile completeness. But basically, when you fill out your profile, you kind of see that, oh, I don't have it completed yet. And that really motivates people to get stuff done. In fact, they increase their profile completeness by 50%. The next example we can look at is Tumblr. Tumblr created a leaderboard to help people discover content better. So in a lot of these popular topics, they have a top editor, they have feedback, activity, and so people would compete and make sure they want to be the top editor each topic. The third example is something that most people don't think about, but if you think about e-commerce in a gamified way, what's a good example? What new age, sexy new site is doing that? Well, you don't have to think about a new site. You should think about an old one. Just look at eBay. eBay is actually a very good example of e-commerce gamification. E-commerce generally, you just sell stuff, you buy stuff, and that's about it. But eBay did a few things that were smart. Number one, they added a rating feedback system where people give you feedback, and your score goes up as you get positive feedback. You go from a yellow star to a blue star to a purple star and go all the way up. And I remember when I first got my yellow star, that made me so excited. They gave me an actual certificate that I can print out and put on the wall. This is like 7-8 years ago, and I still have that certificate with me right now. On the other hand, letting people bid against each other, competing, saying, "Oh, I want it," almost irrationally bidding up the price, even though it's already above what you want to buy it for. That's another example of gamification. So a lot of times gamification, you don't see like swords or cartoon characters flying around the screen. Generally, it's just something very simple, or it could be very ingrained in the design of a site. And good gamification design actually does not let the user think, "Oh, this is a gamified website. Do I like gamification?" It's just, it's just a website that makes people want to move forward, want to do stuff.
Now, one big misconception in the industry is that a lot of people think gamification is part of the gaming industry. A lot of people, when they hear the word gamification, they say, I don't play games, gamification is not for me. But that's like the biggest misconception ever. Gamification is anything but games.
Again, gamification is taking fun gaming elements and pulling that and putting into non-game settings. When it's non-game settings, it's not part of the gaming industry. Actually, when people ask me, where does gamification end? What cannot be gamified? I would say anything could be gamified as long as it involves people, except gaming. Because how can you gamify a game? It's almost like liquefying liquid. How do you do that?
Ultimate duck action. Pew 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 pew.
Yep. And that's how the duck jumps into the water.
Now, one of the biggest problems in this industry is that a lot of people just think gamification is slapping on points, badges, and leaderboards on your website. And that's just it. It's very gimmicky and doesn't add that much value. But of course, that is completely false. Points, leaderboard, and badges are just what you see in the old world of social media, where creating a Twitter profile and a Facebook fan page is all you need for social media marketing. When in fact, that's not true. All games have game elements in it, but a good game designer makes a game addicting, and very few games are actually addicting. Most games suck. And so, good gamification means it's not just incorporating points, leaderboard, and badges onto your website, but it's creating a system to get people to care, to get people engaged. And sometimes that ends up giving them being points, sometimes it ends up being leaderboards, or other things like that. But that's not where gamification really is. It's the outcome of good gamification design, not what gamification design really is.
So that concludes episode 2 of The Beginner's Guide to Gamification. Hope you had fun and you learned some stuff from it. We've been covering very basic stuff up to this point, but it's going to get more and more advanced, and then your mind will be blown. Take care, and may the gamification be with you again.